Everyone, we got our 2022 NFL division picks. Little lightning round here. We're going to go through them and let you guys know who we got and why. We'll start out with the AFC East. I am going to go ahead and take that heavily favored Bills team. Who do you got, Nick?
I got the Bills as well.
Billings?
I think the Dolphins will push this year, but no.
I'm actually going to take the Dolphins.
Wow. Bold. All right, Dolphins over there. We'll go ahead and move forward here to AFC West. I picked the Chargers to win that division and unseat the Chiefs and Mahomes. Who do you got, Nick?
I got the Chiefs being unseated as well, but with the Broncos.
Oh, spicy Billings. Who do you got?
Denver Broncos.
We'll move forward here to the AFC North. I picked the Bengals to win that division. Who do you got, Nick?
I got the Bengals as well.
Damn, I got the Ravens.
All right, fair enough. That's going to be a close one. I can see that. And then we will end the AFC with the AFC South. I took the Colts to go ahead and take that one.
I got the Colts as well.
I got the Colts as well.
It's a clean sweep there. Those are our division picks. We'll go ahead and get into the wild card picks. We do have 3 wild card teams this year, everyone. Just want to let everyone know.
I think they're talking to me.
My wild card picks were the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Dolphins. I had the Dolphins over the Broncos. That was the toughest call for me. I think the Dolphins figured it out this year. Who are your wild card teams? Nick.
I agree with you. I got the Dolphins, I got the Chiefs, and then I got the Chargers.
Billings wild card picks.
Got the Chiefs, got the Bills, and I got the Bengals.
All right. Those are our AFC picks. We'll move forward here to this.
That's right. Fuck you, Chargers.
Down conference. down conference. Billings logs in for Chargers to miss playoffs. I'm pretty sure that's like plus 250. So you should definitely take that. The down conference of the NFC here. We'll start with the NFC East. This one hurt me inside. I picked the Eagles to win this division. Who do you got, Nick?
I actually got your Cowboys winning the division.
Spicy. Billings?
Yeah, Cowboys.
Wow. All right. Guess they're seeing things I'm not. We'll move forward to the NFC West. This was tough for me, but I stuck with the Rams to win this one. Who do you got, Nick?
My pick, I picked the Rams as well, but it's just going to depend on Stafford's health. If he's injured at any point, I could see the 49ers taking that, but I will go with the Rams.
Billings?
Going with the Rams as well.
Rams. Niners were tempting, though. We'll move to the NFC North.
Talk about them later.
I went ahead, and I was trying to drive this Kirk Cousins as a legitimate quarterback train. I'm picking the Vikings to win that division. Who do you got, Nick?
I got the Packers.
Billings?
Staying true to my Kevin O'Connell pick, going Vikings.
All right. Last but not least, we got the NFC South. I picked the Saints. Who do you got, Nick?
I got Tampa Bay. I hope he rides out into the sun. But his last year.
He's so defeated. He's just like, just leave. Just go.
Too many years of it.
Who do you got, Billings?
I have the Buccaneers as well.
All right. Got the Bucks there. For the wild card teams, I picked Niners, Packers, and Bucks. Cowboys missing the playoffs hurt me a little bit inside, but I'm just ready. I'm just prepared right now. Who do you got for your wild card picks, Nick?
I think I'm going to go with the Eagles, the Vikings, and the 49ers.
Solid. Billings, who do you got?
I have the Niners, the Packers, and the Eagles.
All right. Some similarities there. Some of those playoff teams. We'll move forward here to the Super Bowl contenders. We can talk a little bit more about this here with our little AFC predictions. There's 3 different winners here. I will go ahead and start and talk about how I had to pick the Chargers, despite Billings telling me they're not going to make the playoffs. But that Chargers team, like I said, best roster in football. If they could stay healthy, they are going to just dominate. Like, they're stacked at every level, every position group. They've improved. It's going to be really tough to beat that team if they can stay healthy. I think that they just figure out a way. and I got them coming out of the AFC. Who is your AFC pick, Nick?
My AFC pick, I'm going still true with that Josh Allen MVP. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. I think with that offense, and like I said before, the way he keeps getting better every year, I think he will take that next step and get them out of the AFC East, or AFC in total.
Billings, who do you got?
After thinking about it, I was like, everybody just seems to be picking the Bills, and that never works out for teams that have that much expectations and pressure on them. Rarely does it work out. So I had to think about it a little bit, and this year I honestly think the Indianapolis Colts are going to go on that run this year. I think they're an overlooked team. Like last year, they had one of the best rosters in the league on defensive and offensive side. And they should have easily been a playoff team, but Carson Wentz just had mystifying decisions that they missed the playoffs because of that, because of Carson Wentz's play. So now you replace him with Matt Ryan, who's traditionally a much safer quarterback, much more competent quarterback. And I think you're going to see Matt Ryan do for the Colts what Stafford did for the Rams, plain and simple. And I think also with him having Jonathan Taylor behind him, that's going to take a lot of pressure off of him to perform as well. And so I think you're just going to see a team that's going to be very gelled together, and you're not going to just have Carson Wentz out there making mystifying decisions. So I really do see them going on a run this year.
Spicy. The Colts are QB away. I'm very surprised that you didn't pick the Broncos in that situation. It seems like a very similar situation in team building philosophy that the Colts and Broncos have there.
Broncos are a young team. Like there's just a lot of new parts in the building and the facility at large, and so it's going to take a year, I think, for them to truly gel and have things connect. Like even when Peyton Manning was here, that first year, like there was a few things that just didn't connect, but then when they connected, like he broke offensive records. And I'm not saying that Russell Wilson's going to break offensive records, but I think once he settles in and realizes like, oh, this is home, this is my team, this is where I need to be, things will change, but this won't be the year. I think the goal this year, just make the playoffs, please, for the love of God, just make the playoffs.
All right, making the playoffs is the goal there. We'll go ahead and go to this other conference here. I'll let Nick tell us why. Actually, let's start it off again. I'm going to go ahead and say I got the Niners. I just think that this stupid Shanahan scheme is going to be too much for teams in the playoffs. And that defense has been, I think that's like one of the most underrated aspects of the Niners is that I forget D'Amico Ryans. I think that's the name of the defensive coordinator. That dude's going to be a head coach next season. He's going to be a head coach. That defense is coached up so well. I think that defense is going to just set that offense up. And I think there are going to be a lot of problems in the playoffs. I got them coming out of the NFC. Who do you got, Nick?
See, this was one of the harder picks for me because I looked up and down all those teams in the NFC, and none of them really look scary. And for that, I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to find somehow, some way to come out of the NFC. He's just going to be resilient and use the wide receivers that he has, sort of like what Brady used to do back in the day. I mean, still does, but no, it doesn't need to. But I think that the Packers do come out.
Spicy. They do have an improved defense this year, overcome the lack of Devontae Adams. We'll see how they do. Billings, who do you got?
So definitely don't have the Packers. I think the Packers, like, they are a worse team than they were last year. I think me and Tony talked about this offline, but basically just like if they would have kept Devontae Adams and would have kept that train going and then improved the defense, it would have been totally on it. And Devontae Adams, from everything we saw from an outside perspective, he was on board until he just suddenly wasn't. And like I think that's a direct attribution to Aaron Rodgers and just his attitude and the things that he's been doing. And so, yeah, I don't have faith in a guy like that. I don't think they're better as a team this year. I think they're actually worse. So that's why I was just confused by a lot of the Packers picks this year. But you should be equally confused by my pick. I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers, just like Tony. I think there is something to that team. Like there is they are just a pesky team that they know how to pick away at the other teams in their division, and then they always find a way to be there at the end. It's frustrating, and I think you have to give credit to Kyle Shanahan. He's the architect of that. And so this year it looks like they're going to do it with somebody else. They're going to go with Trey Lance, and so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but I think they will eventually go on a run. Like they'll find things clicking there at the end of the season, and like always, they'll be in the mix and they'll fuck with people.
All right. So to recap, I have Chargers and Niners, all California Super Bowl. Nick has Green Bay Packers and Bills, Arctic Circle Super Bowl, and Billings over there has the Colts and the Niners. Pretty much the Shanahan, Matt Ryan revenge game here.
Yeah.
The plot, I like that. All right, well, those have been our Super Bowl predictions as well as our division.
That'd be an amazing Super Bowl, by the way, of just like who overcomes the 28-3 Super Bowl. Like, who beats the curse? Is it Matt Ryan or Kyle Shanahan?
That would be. I agree. I would agree. So those were our division winners there, as well as our Super Bowl picks. We'll move forward here and we'll get into our Game 1 picks. Game 1, Week 1 picks. Let's see what we got. Where is this grid at? We got Bills and Rams to start it out here. 2.5 favorites. Bills on the road. I will let Nick start us out. Who do you got, Nick?
I think the Bills are gonna. I'll take the Bills in this one because I think Matthew Stafford's still not 100%. I think the Bills take this on the road.
Billings?
I'm saying Rams. Like that's still a pretty damn good team. Like they really didn't have any turnover from last year, and traditionally, like the home team, coming off a Super Bowl, like they win that game. I think it's like 90% of the time, if not more. So I'm gonna go with the home team here.
I agree with Billings. Rams, I'm going with them. I think they're getting disrespected. Too much hype for Buffalo on the road for that first game. People treating them like they're the favorite. Like we learned, there are 2 seasons. All this noise doesn't matter post Thanksgiving, and it is trickle down NFL. All these teams are very, very close. There isn't much separating them. There's only a few difference makers. I don't know if the Bills have enough to go ahead and do that in the opening game. We'll see. But yeah, I think the Rams are going to go ahead and take care of business, and the Rams will be okay early. Saints, Falcons. Oh my gosh. Don't really know if is anyone taking the Falcons. Does anyone want to take the Falcons in this game? No. It's 5.5. We can get the heck out of that game. Now we got the Baker Mayfield revenge game. Browns, Panthers. Is that 2.5 point favorites?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers that game.
I'm picking the Browns.
Picking the Browns.
I'm picking the Browns. I'm picking this Browns team. Everyone hates
on that Browns team.
They're associated with Deshaun Watson. I get it. Morally terrible. Browns was a legit team though. Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb. They got a good offensive line, good defensive line. That Panthers team is just question marks and Matt Rule making QB acquisitions. So I really don't know. I don't have faith. Give me Browns. Give me Browns in that one. Bears and Niners. Ooh, this is going to be a quick one. I am taking. Oh, the line is 7. I'm taking the Niners. Billings is over there.
I'm going to take the home dog. 7 points at home. Too much. I think Niners will still probably win this, but yeah, too many points.
That is a push if I've ever seen it. Nick,
I'm gonna also take the Niners as well on that one.
Yeah, Me too.
I don't have any faith in this Bears team.
I don't know how they scored points. I honestly don't. That offense is atrocious. Steelers Bengals 6.5 points, home favorites. The Bengals. I am taking the Steelers because nobody's taking the Steelers. Because there's no way Mike Tomlin's going to get them coached up and they are going to cover that fucking spread. Don't know if they're going to win that game, but they are covering that spread. Let me tell you, they are going to cover. They'll lose by 2 field goals and I'll get that by half a point. I'm telling you, they're covering that spread.
I would not be surprised if the Bengals lost this game, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'll go Bengals.
Upset.
Yeah. I'm going to go Bengals as well. I think the Bengals take care of business at home.
All right. Ooh. Oh, speaking of hard knocks, here we go. Eagles, Lions, 4-point favorites. Eagles on the road? No, sir. That is too many points. Give me the Lions. I'm going with that. Who do you got? Nick?
I'm going with the Lions as well because I think coming out of the Hard Knocks, Dan Campbell's got that team fired up. They take one from the Eagles.
Billings?
This is an emotional pick for me. I'm gonna pick the Lions on this one. It's not a logical pick. It's an emotional pick. So go Dan the man Campbell. I just want to see that team be successful.
I gotta write this down because every time we were in agreement last year, we were almost always wrong. So I'm gonna say Eagles probably gonna win that by a touchdown or some bullshit.
Probably.
Texans, Colts. Texans at home. Colts are favorites, road favorites, 7 points. I am taking the Texans because that's probably going to be a push as well. What do you got, Nick?
I'm going to go with the Colts. I think they win that game by more than 7.
Billings?
I'm gonna go with Texans. It's too many points at home. So I think Colts win the game, but Texans cover.
Yeah, I agree with you. Here. We got Pats and Dolphins here. Dolphins 3.5 points, home favorites. We'll leave it to Nick here. Tell us what's happening in this first game.
I think the Dolphins take this by more than 3.5. As I've said many times, I don't think the Patriots are good, and I think we might see a couple tricks come out of Mike McDaniel's sleeve in this game.
What are the tricks you're talking about? Tyreek Hill throwing passes to Waddle? What the hell?
No, just different formations, different sets out of formations. You'll see a lot of motion pre-snap.
A lot of motion pre-snap, huh? All right. I believe it. I got the Dolphins too. I think their defense is improved, and that sophomore slump's coming from Mac Jones, like Billings says. Who do you got, Billings?
Got Dolphins as well. All 3 of us picking Dolphins. I could go wrong.
Let's write that one down too. Okay.
I think that Pats team's gonna be bad this year. I know that's not a unique take, but yeah, looking like they won't be good.
I've seen that writing on the wall. It definitely seems like they are in for a down year. We got the Jets at the Ravens. Jets home dogs of 7 points. Both of you guys picking Ravens? Is this what I see here? So you're just talk to us about the Jets and Joe Flacco, Tony? Let me talk to you about Joe Flacco and this revenge game that's going to happen here. Disrespect on the Jets is too much. That is a good roster. They have good players. They are covering that spread. 7 is too much. Come on now.
That disrespect is very deserving of the Jets. Yeah. So
I agree. I think having Joe Flacco quarterback is just like that same situation in Seattle. Geno Smith, Drew Lock. I don't think they do anything in this game.
Damn, look at this. Nick over there just shading quarterbacks all kinds. I see what's happening. Yeah, but this Ravens team, they're going to take a little bit of time before they get up and running, before everyone starts getting healthy, before everyone starts clicking. They'll win that game, but it'll be closer than 7. Mark my words on that one. Jags, Commanders. Commanders, 2.5-point favorites. We got Carson Wentz Commanders. Fuck me. Washington. In a Washington jersey, we got Carson Wentz. 2.5-point favorites against this Jags team. Nick, why are you backing Carson Wentz? You're a quarter. You were just talking
I
about quarterback.
got more faith in Carson Wentz than I do that Jags team. I'm sorry. Until they do anything, I still think the Jags are a bottom feeder.
This is some Florida bias. This is some Florida bias right here. He's just not liking Jacksonville. Billings, tell him why we're picking the Jags.
I think they're going to surprise people. I think that Trevor Lawrence finally comes out and does what he's supposed to do, and actually be a good QB. And yeah, Carson Wentz, like that guy, he ain't it.
He ain't it. There's not going to be much difference between him and Heineke. People are going to be like, this is the same fucking quarterback we watched last season. Disappointing. Yeah, give me the Jags. They're winning that game. That's an upset for this week as well. Oh, you guys are just smoking it right here. Chiefs and Cardinals. And I'm seeing here, Cardinals, 6-point underdogs at home. God, do I want to pick the Cardinals in this game. Can't do it. Picking the Chiefs, 6 points. You guys in your Mahomes slander, it's been too much. Just want to let you guys know, Andy Reid is like 13-2 in openers. He's like undefeated when he has a bye. If you give Andy Reid time to prepare, it's over. You're going to lose. Sorry, Kingsbury. Not happening. What do you got? What do you got, Billings? What do you got over there? Tell me why I'm wrong.
I think Chiefs probably win this game, but they don't cover. I think it's just like one of those close games where they probably win by a field goal at the end.
Yeah.
Dang.
I agree with that. I think this is going to be one of those games that's going to go back and forth, and it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last. It could be 3-point, 4-point, depending on how it goes.
Yeah,
but I don't think they cover at 6.
Clock management will most likely be a factor.
Wow, I just don't see this game being close at all. Like, I think the Chiefs get up like 2 scores, and then the Cardinals have nothing. They can't throw the ball. They don't have Hopkins anymore. They can't score. They can't keep up. They can't move the ball. Chiefs blow out. All right, Chargers and Raiders. Chargers, 3.5-point favorites here at home. Oh, God, you guys, no way, man. I'm taking the Chargers. Revenge match. Raiders fucked them last year and kept them out of the playoffs for not going to a tie for some reason. Chargers, like I told you, the roster, everyone's clicking. Yeah, give me the Chargers, 3.5. They're covering that one. Revenge game.
Too much hype.
This is gonna be I think this is gonna be another close game like that Chiefs Cardinals game. I think it's gonna come down to a last minute field goal.
Dang. Same Billings? You say no. Chargers hype.
Too much Chargers hype. Like I'm willing to bet you'll probably have more Raiders fans out there than Chargers fans, and yeah, Raiders got their number.
Raiders got their number. That was a wild one last year. Couldn't believe it. The Raiders. Nonsense. We got Vikings and Packers here. Vikings at home, 1.5-point dogs to the Packers. I'm taking the Vikings all day in this one. Vikings do really well against the Packers. Doesn't matter what happens with Packers records. Vikings almost always beat them every year. They do really well against them. They always split with them. Vikings are going to take this one. It's going to take some time for that Packers team to get all gelled up. There's rookie receivers. Going to take some time. What do you got, Nick?
I agree with you. I think that the Packers always come out a little slow. They'll pick up later on. I take the Vikings at home.
Billings?
Going Packers. Like Aaron Rodgers will come out and do what Aaron Rodgers does.
Flashback. Last year, game 1, Packers, Saints, 38-3. Billings floats the conspiracy theory that Aaron Rodgers wasn't a fan of the 17-game schedule, was really only going to give you 16 games of prime Aaron Rodgers play because he was negotiating the contract. Let's bring it back to right now. So Aaron Rodgers got paid, so everything's okay, Billings?
He's good. He got paid for 17 games now.
He got paid. All right, we'll see what happens. I do remember that little insight from last year. Billings was the only person picking them to lose. I was pretty surprised.
I just know he's early on his trolling this year, so he's probably going to be prime for that game. Because
I can see it. It is always close. It is a rivalry game. This is surprising. Giants at Titans. 6-point favorites. Titans at home. All of us are backing the Giants. What on earth is happening here? Explain to me what on earth is happening here. What's going on? I'll let Billy tell me what's happening with this Giants team that we're all believing in all of a sudden.
I just think it'll be a close game. I think like Titans just aren't necessarily good enough to pull away from the Giants in this one, and also just being week one, it'll be close. I'm not saying like I'm not crowning the Giants or anything. I'm just I don't think the Giants are as bad as they were last year. That's for sure.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris on that. I don't think the Giants are as bad as they were last year, and I don't think the Titans are as good as they were last year. So I think this is close, and Titans may still win this game, but I don't think it's by 6.
No, I'm write this one down. This is the third one that we've gotten that we all agree on. I think the Titans are on upset watch. I think the Giants could win this game. I'm writing that one down right here. Titans are on upset watch right there. Something's not right with that team. They're right, like Nick was talking about with their wide receivers. I think they got Robert Woods, but I don't know if he's like fully healthy yet. Something's up with that team. Something's just not right. Oh, look at us all in agreement here again. This Sunday night football game. Cowboys, my Cowboys hosting the Bucks. 2.5 point underdogs here. It's 2.5 now, Billings. The Cowboys are at 2.5 now. We talked offline. I told them by game time the Cowboys would be 3-point underdogs. I see that spread is moving quickly. Why are you picking the Cowboys, Nick?
I think the Cowboys actually win this game. I think that Tom Brady's time off, not gel as much with the teammates. I don't know. But I just think that Tom Brady going to Dallas, I think the Cowboys are going to actually not only – I think they're going to win the game. Sorry.
Billings, what do you got on this?
I think Cowboys win the upset. Like home team, and then there's a lot of weird things going on with the Bucks this offseason, so I think it might take them a few games to start clicking.
I agree. This is one of the few games I'm looking forward to this season. I hope the Cowboys can win this game. They've never beaten Brady. They're 0-7 against him. Dear God. I don't think that everything's, like Nick was saying, I don't think everything's gelling yet. I don't think everything's right with the Bucks, especially that offensive line. If you can get pressure, interior pressure, you can affect the game. And I told Billings, I think that all kinds of people are going to lose money gambling throughout the day, and they're all going to try and chase and bet on Tom Brady on Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys, and Cowboys are going to pull that upset and win. We'll see how right we are.
Raise your hand if your team's actually beating Tom Brady.
Hey, look at that. Must be nice. Next week, guys, I'm going to try and join them. We'll see. Probably not, though. We'll see. I'm writing this down. 4th time. We all agree. And last but not least, we got Billings Broncos up there going to Seattle, and they are 6.5 point favorites. That's too much. Give me the Seahawks in this. Come on, man. Come on. 6.5 points. Come on. Tell me why I'm wrong, Billings.
Seahawks team's just not good, and like honestly,
what's not good about them? If we're not talking about the quarterback, what's not good about?
Well, that's where you got to start. You got to start at quarterback. How do you expect them to score any points if I don't see Geno Smith doing
I don't
that
think he's
going to
make it the season. I think Drew Lock's going to be starting games
But Geno Smith's the starter for this game.
He is the starter for this game, but I think like fans they're going to be thirsty. Like they're going to be like, well, Drew Lock has a higher ceiling. Like let's get him out there and see what he can do. And they're going to go through the same bullshit that we had to deal with here. And so yeah, like when it's the old adage, if you have 2 quarterbacks, like you have none, and they're going to find that out this season. I just don't think they're a good team defensively, offensively. Special teams, like they have a few stars. Like that's all this team really is like, yeah, we just have some talented stars planted here and there, and really that's it.
And then the added fact of Russ going home, it's the same thing like Belichick Brady. Who was better? Who was the genius behind those? Now you got Carroll Russ. So we'll see. I think Russ would like to go back to where he's played all these years.
Like I'm interested to see how it's gonna go just as much as anyone. Like clearly, like the Seahawks made a decision where we're gonna go with Pete Carroll over Russell Wilson. like in terms of guiding the direction of this franchise. And like everyone with an outside perspective was like that clearly seems like the wrong decision. So I want to see, like, I'm just as interested as a Broncos fan to be like why did they make that decision? It's almost like when somebody like they sell you like a fucking Ferrari for like the price of like a like a Ford F-150. Like, of course, like you're gonna raise an eye and you're gonna be like, what? Why? Like, why are you getting rid of this? Like, that doesn't make sense. And you're hoping that the opposing party is just crazy and delusional, but like there is like, I know very much, like as an objective fan as I try to be, that like, yes, there is that percentage that like maybe the Seahawks knew something we didn't.
Some interesting thoughts here. Some takeaways. That team is going to be good on special teams. Pete Carroll loves special teams. Seahawks have been good at special teams the entire time he's been the head coach there. That's one phase of it. I know they'll be solid on special teams. They'll probably have a average to above average defense, definitely below average offense. I could see them picking in the top 10.
But like, let's think about their stars. It's like Tyler Lockett. It's DK Metcalf, Jamal Adams, and now I guess Geno Smith. Like that's not good. That is not a good list of characters.
I know. But they do have solid special teams. They do have solid coaching. Like, as much as you would like to talk about Pete Carroll, like, he's actually coached in the league. He's had proven success. Nobody knows what your Denver coaches are going to do. Rookie coordinators.
He has, but Pete Carroll's success in the league was always tied to Russell Wilson.
Yes.
He made the playoffs before Russell Wilson.
He did, but then he went to 2 Super Bowls with Russell Wilson.
I know. And then once they paid Russell Wilson, they were never ever able to go ahead and go back because they paid Russell Wilson and they couldn't pay the rest of the team.
But even, I don't know, even like during Russell Wilson's tenure, it was weird. It was always like, oh, this is like Marshawn Lynch's team and stuff. And like, that's the identity of our team. Like, they never really fully embraced him.
They did. They let Russ cook like the last 3 years. He was throwing the ball all kinds. That's why we know who DK Metcalf.
No, I think they tried to rebuild that running game again, is what they've desperately been trying to do the last few years.
We'll see, but they definitely they let Russell Wilson do everything he wanted to do there.
I feel like that's been the mentality of the Seahawks the last few years. Is like, oh, if we can just find that running back again, like we're gonna be amazing again, and that just was never the case.
I don't know, man. It's complicated because that they never had success with Russ being the guy. They had success with Russ being carried by an elite defense.
And so, like at the same token, like why couldn't the Seahawks like surround Russell with the talent that he's essentially surrounded with now in Denver?
They did.
Like Russell's gonna have to like prove it himself of like, hey, like now I do have like the weapons around me and whatnot, and a team that's built around me, and he won't have any excuses. But like I never felt like they had like this in Seattle.
Because you're not a Seahawks fan. They had better weapons in Seattle than he has in Denver right now.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another time.
What time? Not the time right now. Like, those guys are better in Seattle. Like, that's why we know who they are. Like, they set up Russell with these dudes. Like, you're trying to do the same exact thing in Denver. Seattle just doesn't think that Russell can do it, and that's why the same reason Detroit got rid of Matt Stafford.
And I disagree. I always felt like Seattle was trying to, like, their identity was their defense and their running game. Like, even after, like, it was always like, we're gonna recreate the Legion of Boom. We're gonna get another like amazing running back. Like, I feel like that's what they've all constantly been chasing these last few years.
But defense, running game, and then Russ just making these off-called throws, just making things happen.
And like that's what's won for them. That's like a proven track record of success in the league. But like Russell Wilson stopped making plays with his feet. He stopped being a runner out of the pocket. He sat in the pocket and was just firing downfield constantly, and they weren't able to win. They weren't able to beat teams in the playoffs. Like, this is what is happening with the Packers. And the Packers are like, hey, we don't need Devontae Adams. We need to devote all these resources to defense and special teams. Doesn't matter who's around Aaron Rodgers. It's defense, special teams, running game. Like, that's how we're winning games. Like Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, like, look at how those guys had success. They were built up with elite defenses and elite running games. And like, that's what you need in this league to go ahead and succeed. Like, you could try and do it offensively, but it like never works. It never works. How many times do we see these elite offenses fall short? Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. This is why Tom Brady's had such success in the league, is because he's always been with elite special teams, elite defenses. And then when he went to Tampa, it was like one of the few times he was with an elite offense, but they also had a ridiculous elite defense. And so, like, that's my questions with the Broncos and what they're doing is what's different than what Seattle tried? Like, what is different than what Seattle tried?
I think he has like a way more complimentary offense now than he ever had in Seattle. Like, I don't know what you're seeing. I have never felt like they've had those pieces on offense there. Like, someone like Tyler Lockett, like, yeah, like I think Russ like made a name for him, but like that's not what like cuts it in the league. Like, you're not going to win playoff games with Tyler Lockett as like one of your top weapons.
And DK Metcalf?
Just a tall dude, just a tall athletic dude.
So you're confident?
That's the luck. Let's see how he does with Geno Smith this year.
Yes.
So you think Cortland Sutton is going to put up DK Metcalf numbers?
Yes. I think that
I can see that.
I think the Broncos receiving core will like see a whole new fucking energy this season.
I can see that. I can see the improvement. But
like I legit, like I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I think it's going to be night and day for those Broncos receivers with Russell Wilson.
I could see it. I could see it. But
And it's I'm not even necessarily hyping up Russell Wilson as like this elite QB. I'm just saying, like, that's how shitty of fucking talent we've had at that position for the last 5 years.
that is true. That is true. But there are like questions around the rest of that.
There is, and I just spoke on that like, hey, like, Seahawks got rid of him for a reason, and like we all need to find out like what was that reason, and was it just them being delusional, or was like, was there smoke to that fire? And that's why they think that game is actually interesting. A lot of people are gonna say like, hey, Broncos Seahawks is probably like one of the worst games on the slate for this week, but like, if you actually think about some of those storylines, it is an interesting game because it's two teams going in some completely opposite directions.
I think it's going to be closer than people think. There's going to be some emotion there. That's a
Definitely be some emotion.
There'll definitely be some emotion. Yes.
Field goal game for sure.
So.
That's what I got. Those are our picks. Those are our picks against the spread. I will go ahead and repeat the 4 games that we all agreed on. The 4 games that we all agreed on. We all believe the Cowboys will cover and beat the Bucks. We all believe the Giants will cover against the Titans. We all believe the Lions are going to cover against the Eagles, and we all believe the Dolphins are covering against the Pats. Those are our 4, all 4 together.
We'll take them.
So nice little sports bud parlay there. We'll see how that does. Those are our week 1 picks. We are the Sports Buds. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, wherever these buttons are. Favorite. We'd love to see it. Have yourselves a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the football.